What is up, YouTube? Welcome back to the Weapon Collective. My name's Jeff, and out on the range again. What a beautiful day to be out here on this fall Utah day. And we're going to be looking at a couple very cool guns. But before we look at the guns, I did just want to take 1 second and talk about this Tac Lab Reaper glove. This is by far been my favorite glove I've ever worn. If you watch the channel, you've seen me wearing these gloves. I have several different colors of them. I love them. And Tac Lab got in touch with me and gave me a code to give you guys a 10% discount on this glove. So you could use the code Jeff10, or I will put a link down in the description where you can go and get 10% off the Tac Lab Reaper glove. These things are awesome. And just a bonus, the bones glow in the dark. Pretty cool. So that's the glove. Let's talk about the guns. We're looking at two pistols. I'm going to go through them one at a time, somewhat quickly, and we will get into all the detail in the outro. But first one is the Vanta-9 5-inch from Fowler Industries. The just dead sexy, if not the one of the most beautiful 2011s on the market today, hands down. And I've had this, I must have ordered it in 2021 because I took possession of it in 2022. So I know there was maybe about a 9-month wait when I ordered this. It was a new company at the time, or relatively new. And I got this gun, and then I really got into shooting comped and ported pistols, and that has been the majority of this channel. I've been shooting mostly comped and ported guns, so you haven't seen these guns on the channel very often. They've made brief appearances, but I wanted to shoot them more, and so I adapted them to fit what I like. So I did some aftermarket porting through TDS Gunworks in Wyoming, and Trenton did a fantastic job of giving me some inline ports along with the chunk port. Same setup on both guns, and he also tuned it. So this one specifically, he sprung this gun lighter. It was running a 12-pound recoil spring and I think a 20-pound hammer spring, and now it's running a 9-pound and a 15-pound respectively. So this is it's feeling very dialed right now. I'm very excited to shoot this gun. And then the other one is the Vanta-9, the FDE version. So I got this last year sometime. I haven't even had it a year, but same as the other one, made a brief appearance on the channel here and there. But when I got the gun, there were two things I didn't love about it. A, it had a threaded barrel, and B, it came with the K-size grip. So I did order this Valentine grip from Fowler Industries, which is just a full-size grip with a different texture on it, and I think that is by far what I prefer. I do not like those little K-size carry grips. Can't run a mag well, and they just aesthetically and functionally don't feel or look as good as these do. So then got the same porting and the chunk port from TDS Gunworks, and Trenton also cut the threads off, did a nice reverse flush crown barrel, and it just looks so good. And I am very happy about both these guns, so let's go shoot them, and then we'll talk about it in the outro. But lastly, before we go, he did do a trigger job on this, and this now may be the lightest trigger I own, beating even my Infinities, which are hair triggers. This thing is spicy. So let's get out on the range, shoot these things, and see how they run. Likes that. It's a 115 day, boys. That one ran. Whew. Shirt. Check this trigger out. This thing is spicy. Come on this side. You got to see how light this trigger is. This is my lightest trigger I have, I think. So, like, there's the wall. I mean, it is nothing. Love it. Takes a little getting used to. Thing is nice, man. Nice work, Trenton. That trigger is money. Whew. Last one. Oh, that thing is so sweet. Except that. So sad. That blue one, I can't hit. Little rectangles don't make noise. thing is fun, man. I typically don't like the Commander length, but that's fun. Okay, just trying some different ammo. So running the 115 grain first, right? Yeah, 115, 124, and then the 50 grain SimX. See how that goes. Whoa, threw one. Big trigger freeze. 117. Got that trigger freeze. These are 124s. That's a nice one. 105. Those grew better, right? So 124s are by far the best so far. And then the 50 grain Simmies. Does not like those. Yeah, 104. So they're more spread out. The 124 was good. I like those. Yeah. Let's try it with the 4 1/4. All right. So we're doing the same thing with the 4 1/4 Commander and starting with the 115s. Was that just me? Must have been. No, something's up. We had a malfunction right there. Something is not liking it. Okay, we had a catastrophic failure on the Vanta-9K. The firing pin basically shit the bed and got bound up inside the gun. It was a bitch to get the firing pin stop off, and long story short, it's gonna take quite a bit of work, but this is not the first that I've heard of this Vanta-9K having this problem. I know another guy who had the exact same problem with this. So now that it's ported, it's no longer under warranty, but I'm not worried about that. I think it's not so much that I can't fix it. It's gonna require a little bit of file work and get this back up and running, hopefully. But for today, it's done. All right, we are doing some reloads. Do this every video, just some 1R1s. I have done this with the Fowler before, with this gun in the Cardinal Fowler video. And I recall this being a nice gun, well-designed magwell and everything. So let's see if I can get below 143. Oh, it just didn't go into battery. All right, 189. Shoot, 166. But gotta make hits, man. 181. Call 143 is fast, dude. 179. Oh, 166. We'll get it. It always takes a little to warm up. 166. 159. 151. Ah! Yeah, I'll take it. Can't get them every day. Like to though. But I just, for whatever reason, was having a hell of a time inserting the mag. Just on me. But the gun itself, this is a nice, like, should be fast reloads with this, faster than that. But it's just day to day. There'll be another when I run this against the factory ported Fowler that arrives on Friday. Looking forward to that one, because that gun's very special. It's the best looking Fowler I've ever seen. I'm excited for that. Okay, ran this with the 4 1/4, which is, it's a little slower for me with that timing of just a snappier gun. So with the 5-inch, interested to see if I can get this a little quicker. I think I will. Lightning fast. Yeah. Oh, you bastard. Well, it is a flat gun. I know that. Okay, back out at the 100, as I like to do, with the Fowler Vanta-9 5-inch. Okay, just got done running both these Fowlers, and halfway through we had a little catastrophic malfunction with this one, the Commander. And I know most people are gonna think that it had something to do with the porting that I had done, which is not the case. This was all centered around the firing pin. So what I'm left with at this point is a box of parts and this slide that I have to go home and work on, because what happened is I first started experiencing some light primer strikes, and I thought that was odd. And then it finally just stopped working altogether. Took the gun apart and I could see that the firing pin was stuck basically. The firing pin was flush with the breech face, but it was still, I couldn't compress it enough in the back with a punch to get it to remove the firing pin stop. It was bound up in there. So I had to give it a little whack with the mallet and a punch. And then finally it broke free. And in doing so, and then the firing pin stop was incredibly tight, super tight, very difficult to get out of there. And now now looking at it, I can see that there is a little fresh little chunk taken out of the inside of that firing pinhole. The relevant part of porting it is that it is no longer under warranty. My buddy Major Havoc experienced the same thing with his KPX. So I won't have Fowler fix it, they wouldn't, but I don't think it's gonna be that hard of a fix. I think I can file that out and get it running again. So when the gun was running, it was so much fun to shoot. Very flat, very soft, but that Commander length compared to the 5-inch, it's a different gun. It's snappier, even with the porting, but as long as I have to be a little more patient with it, just wait for it to return to 0, and then it's just lights out. This thing is super fun, and the trigger in this gun it's one of my favorite triggers I have. It is light, I'll tell you that. So I love this gun, gonna get it back up running because I do enjoy shooting it. Very pleasant to shoot both these guns with that porting. That chunk port makes it far more enjoyable for me. I love porting and comps and all that stuff. So this 5-inch ran. It was a little picky on ammo. I have Badlands 124 grain ammo, and then I have some 115 grain Blazer. And this thing, like the Blazer, didn't like the 124 grain for some reason. So ran that. As long as I was running the 115, ran very, very smooth. Reloads with this magwell is great. I didn't do my best reloads today, but no fault of the gun, that was all me. So it's a ton of fun, and good thing that this guy's still up and running, because as I mentioned, I have a factory ported Fowler Vanta-9 showing up in a couple days, and then the real video is going to be comparing an aftermarket ported Vanta to a factory ported, and just see what the differences are. So both of these guns are extremely fun to shoot now that I got them ported. And really, I had both these guns and they were just collecting dust in the drawer, because as I said in the intro, I much prefer shooting ported comped guns. So I didn't get these things out all that much, but thank you to TDS Gunworks, because he did a fantastic job. And I'm couldn't be happier with the work that was done on these guns, and now you're going to be seeing them a lot more. Please comment, like, share, and most importantly, subscribe. I'm Jeff for the Weapon Collective, reminding you, keep your weapons collected and keep collecting your weapons. I'll catch you next time. Sounds like Star Wars, dude. Oh, that was a colossal failure. Butterfingers.